It's crazy how market manipulation can happen, how something like a black swan event can just destroy and collapse the entire market. Welcome back to Crypto Gains for another video. I want to bring you a Bitcoin analysis video. I'm going to show you the charts. I think it's important that we take a look at the charts. I want to throw a few different ideas out there as to what might happen in the future, what we might see, because this certainly changes the game now that we've seen a new all-time low for the Bitcoin price. If it sounded interesting, drop that like, give me a subscribe if you're new watching. It's mad. It is mad. And, you know, it makes you wonder about what's going to happen next with many other altcoins. You know, if you've been watching all different channels, you know, we all know what's going on with the FTX exchange collapsing and Solana being linked to it. Then it makes you wonder what's going to happen with like the projects on Solana. Because what we saw with, you know, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if something like this happened with, you know, like what happened with Terra Luna happens to Solana, where, you know, Luna goes down, Solana goes down, are we going to see Solana projects migrate to other blockchains? If so, you know, projects like Star Atlas, maybe Polygon could be a good place. You know, or maybe these projects start looking at multiple chains to have their coins on. Anyway, let's just take a look at the market because it has been collapsing. I'm going to use a CoinGecko just to quickly show you what's going on right now with the price action. Bitcoin is roughly £14,900, which in dollars, got it up here as well, and I'm going to talk about this as well. We're talking $16,970. You can see it on the right hand side here. 16,970 is floating. And this is the new all-time low. See, I thought the bottom was in. And matter of fact, you know, time's going to tell if we're seeing something that technically kind of looks like what happened here. If we're going to fall lower, I want to open your mind to what will happen next if there is a lower low. Many people have been calling 10,000, which this is this red line down here. So I want to open your mind to what may happen, because many people seem to believe that we go crashing down to 10,000. And then that's the bottom, and we can start a whole new fresh rally, and then prices can go up so really, really high, past the last all-time highs, and a whole new bull cycle, and then we see $250,000 or something like that in the future. Well, I just want to open your mind to the fact that that may not happen anytime soon if we see prices go down to $10,000. So let me just explain that. I'll do it now. Before I go any further, this is not financial advice, please. Do your further research as well before you invest your money. I think it's a good time to be buying crypto right now, personally. When prices fall like this and we see massive drops, just real quick, then I'll talk about the thing, right? But when you see massive drops like this, let's just have a look at what's up and down. You know, we've been seeing massive crashes, 38% for Solana, obviously FTX 76% down. Is it Lido? They're down 30% or 33%. Aptos down 30%. This is all within 24 hours. This for me is a good buy. This is the time where people go, oh, I wish I bought it cheap. Well, these are the times where you buy it cheap. You know, so it's just trying to control your emotions, as you know, when it comes to like, oh, I'm scared to buy now because it's going to fall lower kind of thing. Trying to control those emotions and taking the opportunity to seize these opportunities to buy things cheap. Let's talk about this. I'm going to be discussing many different things. First, let's talk about this, because I want to talk about Elliott wave count as well, because that's important when you talk about this cycle here and what's going on right now. So because there's a new bottom, when you look at what's really happened here, I mean, is this going to go lower? Are we going to see it come down to this red line, which is $10,000, which everyone believes in the next few days, weeks, or whatever? Time will tell. We'll find out. But as it stands right now, we have last all-time high at about 17,500. We just peaked through this white line, which is where the last all-time high, the last bottom. And now we've created a newer bottom, which is roughly around $16,775-ish, something like that, right? And we could fall lower, time's going to tell. But I want to quickly jump back to 2014 cycle, right? Because I'm going to open your mind to a few things here. If you take a look at this, back in 2014, when you saw this massive crash, or if you weren't here, you know, we saw it come down to here, and many people believed that this was the bottom. Came rising back up. It held support on this 200 line for a long time. We thought it was the bottom. We actually saw it break out on this yellow line, which is the 20-week moving average, and I'll explain all that in a second as well. Came back down and then done a second bottom. Now, people call this a double bottom. And if you look closely, right? Sorry, my finger's going a bit weird. If you look closely, you can see here that the first bottom and the second bottom, they weren't far off from, you know, let me just make this white, from them being close together, like in relation to where a true bottom was. You know, we thought this was the bottom, this one peaked out, and then there was a tiny little bit more, and you can see the red line here where it just dipped under, right? So when I look at this, and then I look at where we are now, because I've been saying like we've been resembling 2014's bottom for a while, and we have. So if prices now were to start going back up over the next few days, maybe week, because this is a weekly candle, so we still got the whole week until this candle closes. So if within this next week, by come Sunday, we see this candle start wicking back up, it looks like it could be doing something similar. And this is the bottom right here. If you see this green, this is the 2014's bottom. So we had the first one here, like I said to you before, and then the second one came down. It was just a tiny bit under the first one, right? And that's what this resembles. And I've been sort of matching this up to try and sort of match it to 2014 cycle. And as you can see here, it's a bit a lot different. But is it? Because what if I was to shimmy this in like this? Hold on a minute. What if I was to just, oh, I'm trying to get there. What if I was to bring it like this? Something like this. Does that show something similar? Could this be like that was the first bottom, what we thought was a bottom, and then we're coming in for a second bottom? Well, it's a bit lower, but technically you can still call it a double bottom. Time's going to tell if something like this will play. If it does, and when we see buy power come back up over this week, right? So buy come Sunday, you see it come up to 18, 19, maybe 20,000, whatnot, then expect fireworks to happen, because then we are kind of still following this fractal pattern where it could just shock a lot of people and start swerving back up. That's based on coming back above, and this candle coming back over here and coming up to about 19, 20,000 at the end of the week, right? That's the first bit of information that I wanted to entertain. Now let's really talk about what can really happen now, because it has created a new bottom, and we need to discuss what are we actually seeing here. Now, I want to use the Elliott waves to perform this example to you. What is Elliott waves? Well, basically things happen in wave counts, and Elliott waves has been very famous for showing specific patterns in price charts as to where price movement can be, and it's really powerful. You see many other YouTubers use it, and usually it goes in a wave count. So you have like if it's going up in price or down in price. This is an example. Actually, let me just show you this real quick. Up in price would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it always has this thing called an ABC correction, which is in this picture. It comes down for the A, up for the B, and then down for the C, right? So now if I go back and use the bearish example, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coming down, and then we have an A correction going up, a B leg down, and then a C leg up, right? But notice the C leg never ever goes higher than the second wave count, right? This part here, it will never ever go higher than the second wave count. And another example is here. So this is some price action, and you could probably resemble this to the Bitcoin price action. I'm going to take off the moving averages for a second so we can just really focus on the chart, right? Just this clean candle action here, right? So I'm going to use the Elliott wave count and show you an example of what a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would look like. So we have up here, which most people consider the top of the cycle, right? Right, so this would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So where would the fifth be? Many people believe it will come straight down to about $10,000. There's your first Elliott wave count. If this plays out, fine. We found a bottom. At least people think they found a bottom. But let me tell you something. This will not be the bottom of the cycle. I got to keep it straight up real. This will not be the bottom of the cycle. What you will be seeing is the beginnings of a bear market. And it sounds crazy. I know it sounds crazy to think that you're telling me that we're still in a bear market. Yeah, because this is just the beginnings of it. Because like I said to you, there becomes a following wave count of an ABC correction. So if we take a look over here, you see how it looks similar in the chart. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 prices come down. Then you see an ABC correction, ABC. And remember what I said. The C correction, right? The last C leg never goes higher than the second wave count. So if we go back to this and draw an ABC correction, which is right here, the Elliott waves ABC, if it comes down to 10,000 like everybody believes, I seriously believe that, yep, you could probably see a nice wick back up, buy power back up. Everybody will probably believe that it's a V-shaped recovery. Bitcoin done a V-shaped recovery. It's bullish again. So we'll have something like an A, anyway here, A, and then come back down again, B, and then C, have a leg up to C somewhere up here. And like I said, it will never ever be higher than the second leg, right? The second wave count. So technically you could see Bitcoin come all the way back up to $40,000 in the future, and everybody would be screaming bullish, 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 bullish. We're going to the moon. $250,000 next. It was down at 10,000. Now we're at 40,000. This is going to go crazy high. But I want you to pay attention to the Elliott wave count, because according to an Elliott wave count, that's just one leg, one full wave count, and it happens again. What happens? The next wave count begins. And this is where people get wrecked in crypto, because another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, another wave count comes. And it will just keep repeating until it finds its bottom. So this is what I want you to prepare for, because I think that if this plays out and it goes to $10,000, it's very likely that we could see a lower low in the future, and this bear market's going to be long extended for the next couple of years. So I wanted to put this to you. If it's helping you so far, drop that like, give me a subscribe. Let's just see what happens. All I can do over the next, the next week is just see what's going to happen in the price action and show you what I see. But, if we go to 10,000, I want to entertain this idea of this being possible. What's really weird, though, in this crypto market right now is that when you look at everything, when you look at what happened before in the past with like all the moving averages and everything else, it screams the bottom of the cycle, which is why I believed it was the bottom of the cycle. And if you deal with many, if you watch many big YouTubers that do technical analysis that are great at charts, they tell you the same thing. This played out just like the bottom of the cycle, which is why I'm still entertaining this idea here. That are we actually still seeing something similar to what happened in 2014, where we did actually come down for a second low? That was like a double bottom, and then we swung back up. Time's going to tell by the end of the week. But I'll tell you what, you want to see Bitcoin go back up to about 18,000, 19,000, maybe 20,000 by the end of the week. We need that. Otherwise, be prepared for what could potentially come. But look at this. Every bottom cycle, 2018's bottom, we stayed above this red line and held it as support. Look at this. We crashed down here. Actually, funny enough, let me remove the bottom line. Look at this. Because these double bottom patterns seem to be sort of playing out. This was 2014's double bottom, right? I've used a copy of it. Look at this. This is 2018, so we've got a double bottom here. One would have been here, and then the second one probably would have been here. This was the C19 crash. That would have been the second bottom, so 1, 2. So we had 2 bottoms here before we went flying off. So I don't know. Time's going to tell. I'm just trying to show you similarities in the markets. It's hard to sort of use the past all the time to relate it to the future, because right now Bitcoin's doing nothing like what it did in the past. I know many people want to relate it to it, but Bitcoin's doing nothing to what it did in the past, because Bitcoin's never been below this red line this period of time, creating many new candles, getting rejected and coming even lower. This is the first time Bitcoin's ever done this in its history, and you can see it here. Had wicks, yeah, it definitely had wicks underneath, but it held relative support on this red line, which is the 200-week moving average. Do I have anything else I can show you? Let me just see what I've got over here. We got the okay, I'll use this as well. Let me just bring this one back. That's another thing I can show you another time. Brought to me by Crypto Crew Uni. Big up to him as well, by the way, because he shows some great chart analysis and stuff. Let's just take a look at this. This is the weekly time frame. I've been showing you this on my channel. Sorry, monthly. This is a monthly time frame using the RSI, which is the top one here, and the stochastic RSI down here. Just real quick to prove the case of why I believed, and many people believe, that the bottom was in. When you look at 2013, 2014's bottom, right here we have the cycle up, crash down, bottom cycle. You can see the two wicks that again represent the double bottom. Look at where the RSI was. The RSI was right down here. I can even draw a white line like this and form a base on the RSI to show you where a potential bottom was, right? Make it thick so you can see, right? So this was sort of like a base that it created on the monthly time frame for Bitcoin, 1 month. And you can see here, look at the stochastic RSI, which is the bottom one. The stochastic RSI momentum, like the sell pressure, everything was just down, all down here. And then we had a massive second rally, right? 2017's rally, vroom, straight down again in the bear cycle. Look at this. Capitulation happened right down here. Look at the RSI. The RSI has come straight down to this white line, right? This is where the bottom of the market was. You can see it clearly in 2018. Same with the stochastic RSI. Look at the sell pressure, sell momentum, all down here. And then we had our next massive rally from here all the way up to 2020, 2021. I believe this was the top. I believe the second one was a double top. And it would actually be really interesting if Bitcoin for the first time has a double top and a double bottom this cycle. Could you compare 2013, 2014 to a double top? No, not too much of a big difference in gap. But it wouldn't surprise me if this is the first time we see a double top and a double bottom. Time's going to tell. I don't know. Time will tell. Let's just see this now. But look, when the prices come crashing down, like everything we've experienced so far, it shows, let me just get rid of this, sorry. The RSI is come right down to this white line again. So these were signals that's showing us that actually the bottoms may be in. And then you got this one here, the stochastic RSI, which is right down here. You know what? Matter of fact, I'm going to show you this thing. If you watch Crypto Crew Uni's fantastic analysis that he does, and this is where I got this from him. So big up to you, Crypto Crew, for sharing this indicator. It's so damn powerful, and I want to show you guys this because it really is powerful. It's the RCI 3 lines, and I'm going to try and explain this as clear as I can so you can understand, right? And then we can match this up to what's been going on in the charts right here, right? So with this RC3 line, the 3 lines, you got a blue line, a red line, and a green line. Notice how when the blue line comes up to the red line, yeah, you paying attention? This is where I draw the yellow circle, right? When the blue line comes up to the red line, usually marks the top of the cycle. Look, you can see in the charts that the top of the cycle back in 2013 was right here, bang. Right now, then obviously we had a massive crash in that cycle, you know, back in 2013, 2014, and then the bottom appeared around here, the first part of the bottom of the cycle. Notice that this blue line, when it comes and crosses with the green line on this RC3I lines, that, you know, sort of like a warning sign or signal to confirm that we're coming actually quite close to the bottom. It crosses with the green line, this blue line, and then it marks the bottom. And if you have a look at the red line whilst all this is happening, the red line is right down here below this yellow golden line. The golden line is always signaled an opportunity for buy. This is a seriously buy of a lifetime, and that's what the B represents, bottom, or you can say buy. It is bottom though. The red line comes down here. Look at when the red line's down here, all the markets that is bottom. And look, same again. Notice when the blue line comes up to the red line, right, and crosses with the red line. As this blue line's coming up, look at the market, all powerful, buy, right, bull cycle. Yeah, so look at this. So the blue line's coming up and then it crosses the red line again. And look at where it's crossing the red line, at the top of the cycle. And then we have our bear market. And again, look at where the bear market ends, where the bottom kicks in 2018. And look at where it matches with this RCI three lines is when the blue crosses the green. When the blue crosses with the green, it marks the bottom, or near enough near the bottom. And this is why this indicator is so damn powerful. And you need to use more than one indicator to decide what's really going on with the market. You can't just look at one thing and say, oh, this is what it is, this is what it needs to be. So, and again, look at the red line. This red line comes straight down again to this yellow dotted golden opportunity zone that confirms that the bottom is in. You see? So we're seeing the same things that have happened in the past happen again. And this is why I highlighted them in, yellow, red. The red kind of just confirms this is the bear market. The blue crossed with the green, and I circled it in red. It means bottom of the market. Look here, look, where the blue line comes up. The blue line comes up, crosses with the red line. Just like what it did here. Blue crossed with the red. Blue crossed with the red. When it crosses with the red, again, look at where this is happening. It's happening at the tops of the markets. This blue line crossing with the red, right? Right now, the red's down here. At some point, this red's going to come back up, and then this blue's going to start to swerve back up, and then we're going to see another cross. And then obviously, when the blue line crosses the green, is a good indication that where the market's going to come down and peak near enough at its bottom. And then obviously the red line again is straight under here, showing this buying opportunity again. This has only ever happened three times when it's come down here, this red line. Well, there was a fourth one here. That was the COVID crash. So we've got 1, 2, 3 that have come below this yellow golden opportunity line. And this has always happened when the bottoms of the market was in. So we're going to see what happens over the next coming weeks. Hopefully this, video has seriously helped you to decide what you want to do. I still think it's a good buying opportunity because, I'm long term. In the next 5 years from now, it's going to be very different. People may wish they bought now instead of waiting long term, and then buying at the top again. So these indicators are powerful. I'm going to bring these to you. If you guys want to try these out, go on TradingView and you can search it yourself. RCI 3 lines and stuff. It's on the monthly time frame for Bitcoin. Okay. So yeah, that was that. Guys, I'm going to leave it here. If you liked it, drop that like, give me a subscribe. Thank you for watching. Become a patron as well. They're seeing lots of things over in the Patreon groups that you don't see. And if you want to get in early to stuff when they're buying things, become a patron. I've been buying stuff in this drop here because I think it's a good buy and they can see the buy alerts. So, check it out. I've even got it up. Let me just quickly grab it up. I've got a CEO tier. I've got an exclusive VIP partner tier. You just go through them. The link is in my info section. And I can teach you guys how to read charts as well. Maybe I'll bring some more on this. Maybe I'll bring another, because I did some videos in the past. Maybe I should bring some more. But, grab the tiers, whichever tier you like. I recommend this one here, the exclusive VIP, because that unlocks all the posts. You can see when I'm buying, selling, staking, all that stuff. And then the CEO tier is the one above. That gives you access to my VIP alerts in my Telegram group. My VIP Telegram group, and they see everything before I buy and stuff because we're talking about it. I'm talking about it. We're discussing lots of stuff in there, and yeah, we've got great analysis people over there as well, sharing some great charts and stuff. So big up to you guys, and yeah, don't miss out. So thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Cheers.